Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to make a unique dish which calls the green apple curry. I have listed all the ingredients in the description box. You still will be able to taste this recipe without the ingredients I have listed as optional, but remember everything adds flavor. First step is to cut the apples as shown in this video and to get rid of the seeds. And then you can see that I add the turmeric powder, the chili powder, the curry powder and the roasted curry powder. I'm sorry that I'm using the same spoon here. That is just to show you the quantities. Once it marinated, leave it aside and then start cutting the onions, followed by the garlic, chili and all the rest of the ingredients that shown here. As you can see, I'm only using half of the tomato since it's going to be a sour dish because the apple is already sour, so I'll be only using half of the tomato. Once everything is cut, just leave it aside and then get ready to temper the ingredients. Heat the pan and add 3 to 4 tablespoons of olive oil and then add the mustard seeds, followed by the curry leaves, pandan leaves, garlic and onions. Once you've fried it for like 2 minutes, then add the cinnamon, cloves and the cardamoms. After 2 to 3 minutes, you can see the onions have started to change its color. Then when you have to add the tomatoes and the chilies. At this point, you will smell all the flavors. Then it's time for you to add the marinated apples. After adding the apples, mix them together well and then you can add a little bit of water. You can use the same dish that we marinated the apple, only use like half a cup of water since the food will start to release the water it contains inside. Once it's done, reduce the flame, close it from a lid and leave it in the stove for another maybe 4 to 5 minutes. After 4 minutes, you open the lid and have a look. You can see there is more water in the pot. At this point, the apples will be half cooked as you can see in this video. Since the apples are a very delicate food, once it cooked, you have to be careful when you are mixing it, not to mash it. Here you add the fenugreek seeds and the salt, and you can add the salt to your flavor. After adding the salt, stir it slowly and then this is when you have to add the coconut milk. Here I use the coconut milk powder, but you can either use the coconut cream or even the coconut milk. You will be only needing about 2 tablespoons of coconut milk powder, add into a half a cup of water. The reason why is it should not be very liquidy, because if we make it very liquidy, that means we'll be adding more water into the curry. So that means it takes time for it to absorb. Once the coconut milk is added, mix it and then leave it in the medium-high flame for about 5 minutes to cook. At this point, you should not close it from the lid because the water needs to get evaporated a bit. After 5 minutes, close the lid and then leave it in the stove for about another 5 minutes for it to get cooked. At this point, you can see the apples are cooked properly, but the pieces also remain nicely. Once it's done, if you think that it's too much of gravy for you, you can leave it in the stove for another 3 to 4 minutes until the water evaporates. Once it's cooked, you can switch off the stove and let it rest. in the stove for a few minutes. It's very important to remember in most of the Sri Lankan dishes, especially curries, once it cooked, you have to leave it to rest for at least half an hour for all the flavors to absorb well. And this is how we enjoy the green apple curry with my family and friends. This special recipe was given to me by my sister-in-law to cook as an alternative fruit when we can't find the raw mangoes. So try and let me know how you went with it.